Jimmy, where's Jimmy? Jimmy, thank you for everything, Jimmy. Thank you for everything. And I was recently honored to receive the coalition's endorsement, and I want to thank you. You're really amazing. Thank you, Jimmy. And a tough guy and a good guy.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Tonight, Taraji P. Henson, Luke Combs, and music from Nathaniel Rateliff. And now, Jimmy Kimmel.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Jimmy. I'm the host. Thanks for watching. Well, I'll tell you what, it took almost the whole 4 years, but Donald Trump finally got a massive crowd to cheer him outside the White House. Congratulations to him. What a weekend it was. People were dancing in the streets like Ewoks after they blew up the Death Star. Darth Tax Evader has been toppled, and America responded with a dance party. Right. That's right. You think she has any idea what the YMCA is? Only 71 more days, Melania. This was the scene outside the White House on Saturday where a reporter from Fox News got a fresh whiff of victory.
We haven't seen any kind of violence or the anger that we saw back in June here on Black Lives Matter Plaza. That might have something to do with the fact that there's a very, very pungent smell of marijuana here.
That's right. Weed shall overcome. There were celebrations all across the country, which is unusual. This doesn't typically happen after an election, but this one was different. Trump's hometown of New York City joined in on the fun, and I noticed some very interesting. Look at this. Pay close attention here, because
having a competent administration will not make the coronavirus any better in many, many communities. I mean, you're going to have much better unity in terms of messaging.
Go back and take a look right there. Senator John McCain returned from the great beyond to celebrate Donald Trump's defeat. Isn't that something?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Donald Trump is not accepting the results of the election, but Joe Biden's getting congratulatory calls from former presidents, world leaders, and even his own vice president, Kamala Harris, who he slowed down to half speed for the first of who knows what could be many editions of Drunk Kamala Harris.
President of the United States.
Trump may be going, but we still have a show to do, you know? Joe Biden may be the oldest president ever elected, but he's also the president with the youngest teeth. On Saturday, the president-elect reached out to those who did not vote for him. He said it's time to stop the harsh rhetoric, to lower the temperature, to see each other again, to listen to each other again. He said we have to stop treating each other like enemies. We're not enemies. We're Americans, which is a nice sentiment, refreshing to hear, but I'm not sure Joe understands what he's up against. The likes of slimy yell evangelist Kenneth Copeland, who gave a sermon yesterday that would make Jesus barf up a loaf and a fish.
The media said what? The media said Joe Biden's president. Ha 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 ha
well, if they don't have COVID now, I guess there's no way to give it to them. That doesn't seem completely demonic at all, does it? The preacher with 3 private jets laughing in tongues? Meanwhile, our out-of-touch with reality host is not letting go. He is both melting and doubling down on his claim that the election was stolen from him. On Saturday morning, the prisoner-elect wrote, "I won this election by a lot," which was funny. And then about an hour later, all the major news networks called the election for Biden. Trump was not watching TV for a change when it happened. He was out playing golf. There he is, unhappy Gilmore, making the deepest divots of his life. Team Trump is not cooperating with the Biden team. Not only is the administration holding up the transition, they're getting all the sycophants on board to question the integrity of the election. Of course, they aren't questioning the results of the races in the House and Senate, even though they're on the same ballots. I wonder why that is. Why would the Democrats have cheated and stolen the presidency but given up the Senate and House seats on the same ballot? Is it like when you cheat on a test, you purposely get a few wrong just to throw the teacher off the set? Are we supposed to believe there's a universe in which Nancy Pelosi could have sent Mitch McConnell back to the exotic pet store he came from and she chose not to? Some Trump supporters took to Twitter to write things like, if you don't include California, Donald Trump won the popular vote. You're right. And if you don't count the murders, Ted Bundy was a pretty good dude, you know? One advisor for the Trump campaign said the word concede is not in their vocabulary, along with a lot of words. And listen, I get that this is hard for Donald Trump. Processing a loss like this is going to take time. I mean, this is the first time he's ever failed at anything besides his casinos, his airline, his mortgage, Trump Steaks, Trump University, Trump Magazine, Donald Jr., Eric, etc. They keep saying give him time, and we will give him time. He has until January 19th, then he's out. Time's up on the 20th. But if Trump really does, if he really does refuse to leave the White House, they should just rename the White House Vietnam. He'll get out of it immediately. He's not going to win this. Even he knows that, but he also can't admit he lost because he's a poorly raised little monster who was born a millionaire. But every other losing candidate for president found it within themselves to concede. And to remind our dear leader of that, we comb through concession speeches from the past, from which perhaps he'll find some inspiration.
Our entire administration will work closely with his team to ensure the smooth transition of power.
The president is my opponent, not my enemy, and I wish him well and I pledge my support.
What remains of partisan rancor must now be put aside, and may God bless his stewardship of this country.
I pledge to do my part to try to bridge the partisan divide.
Whether they supported me or Senator Obama, I wish Godspeed to the man who was my former opponent and will be my president.
The nation chose another leader, and so Ann and I join with you to earnestly pray for him and for this great nation.
We must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking at them very strongly.
Please don't hang his portrait in the White House. Just smash a mango on the wall instead and put his name under it. So far, Trumpland's bigly idea for how to prove there was voter fraud is to set up a hotline where you can call and report shenanigans. Sadly, that hotline was immediately flooded with prank calls, which is a shame, and no one was more outraged than the president's fourth favorite son, Eric, who tweeted, "The DNC is spamming our voter fraud hotline to bog down thousands of complaints we are receiving. Wonder what they have to hide." That's a good question, Eric. Now, this is the hotline number, 888-503-3526. Folks, please, for the love of Eric, do not call this number and claim to have discovered a shoebox full of mail-in ballots with the name Bob Bowie on them. Please, again, the number not to call is 888-503-3526. Keep that, and especially don't share it with people on TikTok because, what? Oh, no, it's too late.
Trump War Room. How can I help you?
Do you know what's going on?
What's going on, sir?
What's going on?
What was the incident of voter fraud that you witnessed?
I saw people were literally spreading poop all over their ballots.
Trump National War Room.
How we feel. Don't try. Don't try. Yeah.
I'm so fast. I was in line to vote, and there was this guy there, and I don't know that this is considered fraud or anything, but he was there and he challenged me to a fiddle competition.
So Trump 2028.
I don't think that.
Make America great again.
That is against the law of our country.
You're one of those liberals, ain't you?
Absolutely not.
Gil, let me talk to your manager.
Trump National War Room.
Talk them up. This was not a prank, or maybe it was. I think it may have been, actually. Did you hear about the little Four Seasons mix-up? Okay, on Saturday, this is good. The president tweeted, lawyers press conference at Four Seasons, Philadelphia, 11 a.m. Then 10 minutes later, he replaced that tweet with this one, big press conference today in Philadelphia at Four Seasons Total Landscaping, 11:30 a.m. Now, Four Seasons Total Landscaping is a landscaping company in Philadelphia. They do yards, and for reasons that are still unknown, they had Rudy Giuliani making a speech from there. And this visual should tell you all you need to know about how it's going, okay? A big, ugly garage door, a cement wall, a garden hose, and an adult novelty shop right next door with booths and everything. This is Rudy Giuliani at his rudiest. The former mayor, as you can see, made a grand entrance at the landscaping place. He had some words to say, and
Beautiful day.
and after he said them, he made a swift exit. And you can say this is the second most embarrassing thing to happen to Rudy this month. Somehow he managed to out-Borat himself.
I know this city has a sad history of voter fraud. After all, Joe Frazier is still voting here. Kind of hard since he died 5 years ago, but Joe continues to vote. If I recall correctly, Joe was a Republican, so maybe I shouldn't complain. But we should go see if Joe is voting Republican or Democrat now from the grave. Also, Will Smith's father has voted here twice since he died.
Go lay down in your coffin and close the lid, recount Dracula. There you go. Trump's run for president began on a golden escalator and ended in an alley next to a dildo store. Say what you want about them. They know how to bookend the story. Even bigger news, Pfizer today announced they've been working on a vaccine that is more than 90% effective in preventing the coronavirus. That's right. The makers of Viagra figured out how to give everyone a boner again. So thanks to them. The CEO of Pfizer said the timing of the announcement coming after the election had nothing to do with politics, but they did name the vaccine Joe Biden also. They're hoping to have 15 to 20 million doses available and approved by the end of the year, which is great news. I never thought I'd be rooting for a big pharmaceutical company, but I also never thought I'd be rubbing Purell on my vegetables. They better get those vaccines to the White House, and quick, because there's a new outbreak in the West Wing. At least 5 more staffers have tested positive, including Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, who was seen maskless with DJ TJ at Trump's post-election party Tuesday night. And you know who else tested positive? Our favorite, Dr. Ben Carson, was at the White House that night and now has the coronavirus. He, by the way, is on the coronavirus task force. He wasn't wearing a mask. He does usually wear a mask. The problem is the mask he usually wears is this one. His spokesperson said he is in good spirits and feels fortunate to have access to effective therapeutics. I'm glad he has that. Donald Trump has 2 black friends. He gave them both COVID. It makes sense that no one in the White House is wearing a mask. I would want to die if I worked there, too. Joe Biden today unveiled his new coronavirus task force. He's planning to spend his first days in office issuing executive orders to try to undo some of the damage that has been done. Basically, he's going to fly around the earth counterclockwise like Superman, trying to reverse everything. There's still a lot to untangle. We still have more than 2 months to go. There have been so many moments over the last 4 years, it's hard to remember even a tenth of it. There's so much incompetence, so many lies. One day there will be a 10-part miniseries about this on HBO. But in the meantime, there is a way to immortalize the many myths, truths, and mishaps, and while also filling your china cabinet with a historic heirloom that can be handed down from generation to generation.
This is an important announcement. President Trump has topped more than 20,000 lies in office.
Frankly, we did win this election.
Now, celebrate his historic achievement with the Trump Lies Commemorative Plate Collection. Elegant, display-worthy plates inscribed with the president's most memorable falsehoods. Each plate is lovingly crafted in China, but proudly marked Made in USA. You'll receive an original President Trump prevarication every day, every month of every year for the rest of your time on Earth. So many lies, so many plates, and you'll have to make room for all of them. Boxes and boxes full of precious lies stacked up high. Satisfaction guaranteed. You can cancel anytime, but we'll keep stumping your house with lying plates until we have every nickel and you're home.
Holy that's a lot of plates.
The Donald Trump Commemorative Plate Collection. Make America plate again.
Look at all these plates.
No habla español.
All right. If you like that video, click subscribe and we'll be together until one of us dies.